I'm Kathy Wilmot, and welcome to this week's Killian Forum. In our show this week, we'll be doing a feature on the band and its auxiliary corps. We'll also be doing a spot on the Killian Classic Road Race. And now, presenting our Cougar News is Marcy Mayer.
Thank you, Kathy. Welcome to Killian Forum's Cougar News. Thomas DeMayo, a former high school chemistry teacher, could be sentenced to as many as 25 years behind bars for manufacturing PCP, better known as angel dust, with chemical purchased through the Miami private school. When Sweetwater Police and Drug Enforcement Administration interrupted him May 2nd, Lawrence Thomas DeMayo owned enough chemicals to manufacture 1 million doses of the mind-altering drug. DeMayo, however, had been fired from his job at the school a week before his arrest, though he did defy instructions not to order quantities of the sodium cyanide, a poison used in making the deadly drug. A 16-year-old girl, a former North Miami High School student, is being sought for a stabbing earlier this week. According to witnesses, Quentin Roundtree, 16, was involved in an argument with two 16-year-old girls. One of the girls pulled a knife and stabbed him above the eye. One girl has been arrested and charged with battery. The other who did the stabbing is still being sought. Florida's university system received a passing grade in the eyes of some state officials, as the first in a series of reports that measures progress toward excellence in higher education. Florida ranked relatively high in the number of National Merit Scholars enrolled as a first-time college students and appropriations per student. It was the fifth of 50 states in the number of those high-ability students selected on the basis of scores, academic standings, and recommendations. For this first report, the region staff was able to get only a handful of data from the other states, so there's no basis for national comparison in all indicators, but they were pleased with most of the results. The Agriculture Department said Monday that it would investigate charges of rat, filth, and stomach-churning conditions at a meat packing plant that supplies nearly a quarter of the meat for the nation's school lunches. USDA spokesman John McClug said the department's inspector general would involve himself in a full investigation of the Cattle King Company's plant in Denver. The allegations were based largely on daily sanitation reports by USDA inspectors that were simply memorandums, not violations. Florida's 1982-83 high school seniors scored slightly better on the math part of the Scholastic Aptitude Test, but did worse on the verbal, state officials said Monday. State Education Commissioner Ralph Turlington said he was disappointed about our verbal scores and would have liked to see the math scores even higher. The Scholastic Aptitude Test, the SAT, is a national college entrance exam which two sections scored on a scale of 200 to 800 points. Florida's math average increased 464 the last school year, up 1 point from 1981-82. The national average was 468 in 1982 and 83, also up 1 point from the previous year. The 1983 legislature adopted tougher standards for high school students that will be phased in during the balance of the decade. This year's juniors, the class of '85, already have felt the impact of upgraded math and science requirements. And that concludes our Cougar News. Next we'll be joining Debbie Bang and Kathy Wilmot. They will be doing a feature on this year's Killian Cougar Band.
Mr. Henry Hank Dewhurst has been Killian's band director for 2 years now. Speaking as a dance line captain, I'm very proud to have him as our band director, for he has changed things for the better, including superb ratings at last year's band contest. Thanks, Dewey.
2, 3, and down. For the time being, if we get ahead of the drill, then we'll give you a nice bow salute with the horn to do there. Then it'll just be, as far as I can see, it's going to be horns up, and we start 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, into in the stone. Okay, finish in the stone. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, into family 2.
The band members here at Killian, they really put in a lot of hours, a lot of hard work. They started back a week before school started, going from 8:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night with a few breaks for dinner and lunch. They've been out in the rain and the hot sun. They really put a lot of effort, a lot of energy into what they're doing. And we're just now starting to show some of the results for it. I think they're going to really make some improvements in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Last year, the Killian Band, we really made a lot of improvements. We surprised a lot of people through the area, and I think we've made our reputation known not just in the Killian area, but in all of Dade County.
You five plus the six, you guys are going to have to spend time together. You're going to have to know each other so well that he's got to squeeze you ready to hit your nerve. It's got to be that way. You got to it's like playing pinball with one person. I used to be too cheap to spin for, money, so Myra would play one hand and I'd play the other side. You get to know each other.
This year we look to build upon last year's improvements. We expand our reputation so that we're known throughout the state as a fine organization. In order to do this, we're trying to put together a show for competition later on in the year. We're trying not to sacrifice any entertainment value to our students, because that's the #1 job of our band, is to entertain the students at Killian. In order to do that, we present a lot of the routines that we do at pep rallies and stuff on the early shows on the halftime field, and each week I think the audience that's at every single game will see our show continue to grow and develop with a lot more intricate drill work. Even if it's the same song, a week later it'll have a lot more visual aspects that it didn't have the week before. First 3 or 4 weeks of school are usually the toughest building the show because it's new to all our sophomores. And we do a lot of curvilinear work, which means there's a lot of arcs and curve shapes, which are a lot more difficult than just standing on the yard lines building the shapes. And we're learning the music right off the top. So it's very, very difficult to do all that and be able to put a show on before school even starts for the orientation.